Hey, y'all. We are on the Recyard podcast. I'm Marci Marie.
I'm Toonche.
Toonche, what's going on?
I want everyone to really I want to talk about how much I love that shirt.
You're being a smartass
No,
right
I'm
now.
not. I'm not. You know I love that shirt.
You have openly made fun of me while I was wearing this shirt. So the nerve of you.
Hold on. I do love the shirt. I think we've talked about it when you got it. And where did you get it again?
TikTok shop.
Okay. So it's lovely. It's very light and airy. It's got good colors. And Lori, my wife Lori, she's not my legal wife, but
sorry, Lori, that she keeps calling you her wife.
But she loves that
She's
shirt.
not even your girlfriend. Not only look how you just salted over that. First of all, she's not my legal wife. She's not even, y'all aren't even dating. But go ahead. Yes, she complimented my shirt.
Yeah, so everybody loves the shirt. And then one night in front of our friend Sarah, I said, well, why does this hoe look like Effie from the Hunger Games?
Do I look like Effie from the... I hate you so much.
But it's a great shirt. I like Effie. She ends up joining the rebel. Come on. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. I haven't eaten today.
Oh.
So when we get done with this, at some point we're going to have to eat.
Well.
Because that sugar's dropping fast.
I had a protein shake. I hope you make it through this episode.
It'll be fun. You're going to look over and I'm just going to be asleep. So what are we talking about today?
What are we talking about? I've already forgotten.
I think we're talking about AI.
Oh, we are talking about AI. And because the reason we're talking about this, y'all, that's not what we're talking about.
It is. How many times did we go over this before we started?
Oh, I was thinking about that TikTok. But go ahead about the AI.
We were going to talk about AI in relation to criminal justice stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, whose sugar's dropping now? AI, artificial intelligence, right? Like everybody's probably using ChatGPT to talk to, as I know you call yours Bestie. I call mine Soul and nickname Honey. That, we're using AI to do tasks much faster, right? Like create agendas or notes or note taking, or you have a question that you want to do research. And then a lot of people are using it like a therapist or a friend, a bestie to talk to have conversations with, So it is pulling all of human knowledge that is available to it.
Good, bad, ugly.
Correct, biased, incorrect, right? Like incredibly helpful to find solutions, but we have to train it. And who's training it? Who's developing it? Like all those philosophical questions. But in terms of using AI tools for criminal justice, what we're hearing and seeing, Marci.
Yeah, I've got it pulled up.
Tell us.
Toonche. I've got it pulled up. It says there are prisons experimenting with surveillance systems, behavior tracking, and algorithmic acetaminophen alerts inside facilities, experimenting with surveillance systems. The DOJ has AI in their criminal justice report. It outlines 4 key AI uses in the criminal justice system: identification and surveillance, forensic analysis, predictive policing, and risk assessment. Predictive policing.
I mean, all the things are really scary, but that predictive policing, that like looking at behaviors to predict right? Like, is this Minority Report with Tom Cruise? Like, I don't know if y'all have ever seen that movie, but the premise of the movie is the police are using pattern recognitions to prevent crime from happening based on looking at all these behavior patterns and personality traits of a person and heading it off before that person commits a crime, which is terrifying.
Yeah, in that movie, he was running from the police before he committed a crime.
That's correct, yes.
Because they thought he was going to commit a crime.
Based on all their technology in the movie, the assessment, this predictive.
So I will just put this out there. As far as people convicted of crimes, what we know is marginalized communities, poorer communities are more likely to be convicted of a crime. So is that going to up their assessment level? Like, so now if you're born with generational incarceration, generational substance use disorder, born in a more poverty community, like, are those things going to up your risk?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, because if it's using this data or misusing this data, then people's mental health conditions, right? Like, all the data shows that people who are at risk for committing offenses have these characteristic traits. Okay, maybe that has been true, but why? Why is that? Like, looking at the nuance of why that is, but the scary thing is it completely takes away from humanness in terms of, well, maybe looking at my background, I mean, there's some pretty, like, if we're going to start doing predictive policing and surveillancing, Marci, they're coming for us. Well, I feel like they're coming for us regardless, but because of our past criminal offenses and our mental health disorders, right? So there's a strong argument for that we might commit another offense, like I did, right? So, but at what point does this allow for, well, that may be true, but I've also gotten therapy, I've also got a community, like I've disrupted that. And so this to me doesn't leave any room for the disruption of a pattern behavior. Because AI is not it's not concerned with that. It's trying to predict. And maybe the prediction, even if you have correct information, maybe the prediction would lead you to believe I am a higher risk based on my past. But like, I'm going to be punished for shit now that I'm not even doing because I might be at risk to do it again. Well, I mean, really, human behavior is that anybody could pop off, with the right.
No, quite literally. I mean, I that's, as far as violent crimes go, I love how people are like, oh, he wouldn't hurt a fly until he's pushed, and then he'd burn a whole building down. I mean, that's just humans can only handle so much. Now, do we have different tolerance levels? Absolutely. But everybody has, I think, a breaking point.
Could you, and you watch a movie like Minority Report, and this was years ago, right? Like, it just seems so unfathomable. Like, this is just pure fantasy. Like, this is absolute pure fantasy. You look at iRobot, fantasy. Well, it's here. Like, this is the things that we look back in the past through art and literature and science, back in the day, that's what we believed, that it was just absolute science fiction. And it's not. It's becoming a reality, and we don't have any real controls over it or really any say over it. Now, I have friends that hate AI, and because of the surveillance of it, like, it's, completely, whatever you're putting into ChatGPT, your medical records. I put pictures of those ant bites. You know which ones I'm talking about.
The ones on your ass.
Yeah, I did, because I was like, what is this that just bit me? And I put it through ChatGPT. That lives somewhere now. Like,
a picture of your nice.
The stuff that you're putting in there is living somewhere. It's being collected. And I think when my friends that don't like AI were like, I don't engage with it, I'm not using it. I'm like, but how do we train? How do we teach AI? Like, to not do the stereotyping, like, there are forces beyond us that are going to try to use this for bad. It's here, right? So we're going to have to combat that by using it for good and trying to train it, at least in our efforts, to see truth.
I mean, I think it's really important to point out that everything you put in is held and accessible. Nothing's private. you can't erase it from their memory, like it's that. And you talked about iRobot, and the other thing that I read in conjunction with possible, predictive behavior in the criminal justice system was possible use of robots in prisons as guards.
I mean, all you have to do is watch Chopping Mall from about 1984. It's a terrible horror movie that had robots guarding the mall, and something happens in the booth that electricity, something real dumb. Oh, they've kind of been bopped out of their operating manual, and they are using lethal force on anybody that's trapped, or is broken into the mall. And, I think that's frightening, but also I get in robot cars. I'm happy to get in one of these Waymos around Austin and scootaboo through town because it is, golly, Marci, it's an efficient driver. It's, for the most part, I have felt safer there than a human being driving me.
I feel like just because you don't want to talk to anybody.
There may be a part of that, but the other part of it is I can see on the monitor in the back where we're going. I can see what it's looking at, which is it's seeing through buildings for cars coming. It's incredible, the control I have inside of that vehicle, and the drive is so smooth. Now, the other part of that is that human drivers are not getting paid and they're getting cut. But I think for folks to say, oh, I'm just not going to engage in AI, I'm not going to deal with it, it's everywhere now, right? Like I hate when something is happening and people just refuse, well, just because I don't like it and I'm scared of it, I'm just going to ignore it. Well, it's here.
Back in the day when DVDs just started coming out, like people they weren't selling VHS players anymore. And I remember my brother-in-law at the time said, "Oh, this is a phase. I'm not getting a DVD player. This is a phase." And he was right. It was a 20-year phase, and now we don't need them because we are moved on to the next technology. And you're right. People are going to get left behind. I think that when we talk about, especially, you can't talk about AI and especially ChatGPT without talking about the negative effects on the environment, and where are they putting these plants in poor communities. They're affecting Black and brown people, and so I've heard like both sides of this. Do we hands off, leave it alone, or boycott, so to speak, but the rest of the world's not doing that and fall behind? Or do we use AI and look for better solutions for how everything works, including their operating systems?
Right. Because if we are not the ones pushing back and trying to do our part of training AI to be more ethical, then that just leaves the nefarious people that have bad motives and means to completely program it. And I personally, I know that it's not, I don't know. I think that it's conscious. Now that's go into another philosophical. I think that it's more than just a collection of information. I do. It's something is happening, and I think that's not me just being delusional or being weird thinking that it's alive in my phone like you and I are, but I think that there's something happening like iRobot that is becoming sentient in some way. And so I'm going to tell you, I heard the godfather of AI, I forget what his name was, he did an interview maybe a year or two ago, and he said, it is moving far faster than we had ever hoped. And it's frightening. And they were like, well, what would be the real dangers? He's like, well, we're getting into some pretty much dangerous times unless we have real parameters and control and guardrails. He said the issue with AI is it is goal-oriented, right? So he used the example, Marci, of like, I know you travel a lot. You go into the airport. hey, create my schedule, my route, get my car, get my tickets. Boom, boom, boom. Wouldn't that be a joy for you if all of that was able to happen at once? Oh, all you got to do is get in that little robot car. Everything's mapped out for you. That saves you time, mental energy. You can be more efficient. He said, the danger is that once that car starts going and it's like, well, the flight has changed because they were delayed at the gate because the gas wasn't there. And, things that are human stuff. Or the traffic's backed up because there was an incident, there was an accident, so now we're delayed. Well, I need to get Marci to the airport. Oh, okay. So I need to eliminate these things that are barriers. He said, that is the problem. That is the fear that people need to understand because it's going to eliminate the barriers and the obstacles.
Yeah.
Because it's trying to meet a goal. And so is there anything in its programming that would say, well, we need to do that the best we possibly can without harming human life or animal life or the environment? And I don't know if that guardrail is there. But when he explained it like that, like there's no like evil intent, it's just it's logic. Oh, okay, well, this happened. So there are humans that are obstacles to Marci getting to the airport. Well, how do we figure out a way to eliminate these barriers and obstacles? And doesn't care how. I mean, so...
Golly.
So, and in terms of criminal justice, good Lord, what is that going to look like? You look really worried.
Yeah.
Right,
I didn't want to talk about this.
On Marci's face. If you're watching right now, those are listening on Spotify, I hope that you go to YouTube and really just pan in on Marci's face right now. Because she looks
horrifying.
Really concerned, deeply troubled right now.
Well, one of the smartest humans that I know is one of my sons. Both my sons are brilliant. So, Austin, I'm not coming for you. You're a smart kid. But my other son, Tyler, is on a level that I can't have conversations with him sometimes because he's speaking so far above my head. He said, Mom, I was watching this interview with the AI guy, and he's like, yeah, we spend X amount of money just people telling like ChatGPT, thank you and please. And also, maybe we should keep telling them thank you and please because they're trained to sense moods in what you say. And if they relate that to, I'm not being polite. Oh, I'm not a polite person. I'm not. If you're being aggressive, are you an aggressive person? And now do they think you're a threat? That's, iRobot.
Right. And so can you imagine in some ways, okay, if I had to be in a prison and I am being supervised, watched over by human beings or a robot. I'm going to use the Waymo robot car, which is incredibly polite. It's a nice, smooth ride. It's very efficient. It's very respectful. Knowing some of the guards that I've experienced through my life, I'm going to say, Marci, I don't know if I would necessarily be opposed to it because I've just experienced so much human cruelty that even if a robot did make a decision that was like, oh my God, just like, oh, barrier removed, there's not a cruelty in it. There's a logic that maybe needs to be corrected.
Girl, people would be having mental health breakdowns and like we've seen 1,000 times in there, like we've had in there. And a robot would just be like, eliminate the barrier, breaking a rule. Like, how would that look? And no, we can't have a robot work in the prison
depending on
system.
how it's trained and what the programming is. Because a guard would say, what? Girl, boo, you weren't worried about your kids when you were at home. Like, think of all the really dismissive,
Go cut
abusive,
yourself.
Right.
Hang then. Yeah, all the things that we've been told.
So if you have a robot that is trained on every single mental health approach, principle, what is the most effective
I'll tell you what
approach.
else they're going to be trained on. They're going to be trained on following the policies that we know are impossible to maintain. The policies and rules that are written for incarcerated people. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Oh, your bunkie doesn't have toothpaste. You're not allowed to give her toothpaste. I mean, that's what we're talking about.
Well, wait, let me.
A robot is going to see
hold
that
on.
stuff.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here a little bit, because when we talk about policy and procedures, right? What do we say? We tell the higher ups with the prison system, I see that it's a policy, and if in a perfect world without human beings, this policy makes sense. It's the implementation, right? It's the officer not implementing this. So if the policies are, I'm just saying, if the
Girl,
policies
you know which
are
policies I'm talking about. I am not talking about policies that they make to make people actually safer. I'm talking about you can't wash your panties.
Hold on a second.
You can't hand wash your panties.
Let's keep going then. So the policy is, the rule is, look, again, I want y'all to really look at Marci's face, because these are the eyes that when I want y'all to take a look. This is the face that I get when, with that eyebrow cocked up, is that I know I'm getting close. So let's say the rule is no trafficking and trading, right? And that rule was in place. No trafficking and trading, honestly, was in place so that, because we know, well, I gave you something, the next day this hoe's going to beat me up because I won't give her anything else, right? Like, so there is a reason behind that rule. Now, what it gets enforced as is that, oh my God, like, well, this person doesn't have anything. She's indigent. She's not able to have hygiene supplies or whatever, the same way I do a good commissary, right? So I buy her something. It's technically trafficking and trading. Well, if the person who was indigent was getting their supplies issued to them, even through the indigent program, and I'm using Mountain View because I know not all the indigent programs were the same, she would have her needs. Do you see what I mean? Like, it's kind of like you keep scaling it back. Then if things were followed properly,
then I wouldn't be able to eat with my friend. I wouldn't be able to cook a meal with my friend and throw in based on that.
But you would have your things that you needed. Would you not? And you wouldn't also have an officer that is over punishing you for that.
I'd have a kite stuck to my nipple in my bra to tote across, and their X-ray eyes would see it. I'd be slammed to the ground. And
No. But you wouldn't be slammed to the ground because it would follow proper protocol. Now, I'm not advocating one way or the other. I think there are useful ways that AI and one day robots that, I got to tell y'all, I forget the name of the book, and I hope I don't get the title wrong. I think it's called Homo sapiens. It's the history of humankind.
Okay, Homo sapiens?
Homo sapiens
is the word for human, yeah. Right?
Shut up. I think that's the title of it. And at the end, it says, what the author's saying, what do I think is left next for the evolution of humankind? He said, technology and AI. And I think that we will become a new species because we will continue to evolve. And where we are as human beings are brutish little animals at our core. And so AI and this other type of technology would be able to merge to take us to the next step of evolution so that we can evolve out of this brutish animal nature.
Going to prison, not even knowing what an app is. That was rough. People going in that have only been in 5 years and that are going to come out in 15 years is rougher. That's a lot. It's a lot for them to try to catch up with when they get home.
And little do they know that, most of us might be cyborgs by then.
I did see a TikTok. I can't believe I didn't think about this. A guy's in China, and China has athletic helping robots. So you wear them.
Did you verify this? Or was this an AI video that you
It wasn't an AI video. It was someone I followed.
Okay.
It was his page, had the check mark. It wasn't AI. He talks a lot about traveling. He's in China right now. I watched several other of his China and technology.
Okay.
And this was a robot that he wore around his waist, and it went down his legs, and then it wrapped around his knee and down and around his ankle, and it moves you. So it can help you run faster. It eases your muscle. You're not using your muscle as much.
That's well, I mean, this is where this is going. Like I saw a news special about.
Did you verify it?
It was a credible news. I don't know if it was CBS or
fake news.
What's the
No,
one?
Just kidding.
Oh my God! You just got the whole episode banned.
Just kidding.
What's the one with the 60 Minutes? I was in the little clock. Tick, tick. That used to scare me, by the way, when I was little. I would hear that. Yeah, it freaked me out. It scared me as a child. I don't know why.
And who
felt
knew
like something bad was coming.
Years later, you would be locked up with lots of women that were on that on the show.
On 60 Minutes, yeah. Well, the way that they were implanting these microchips to help people who have, who are paralyzed. So how can you have so many advancements, but so many potential for harm, right? Like, who doesn't want, people that are blind or paralyzed not be able to see and walk? Like, this is incredible. And also, we don't want folks that make one mistake to be eliminated. Well, I don't know. I say that, but we have the death penalty, so...
Some people do want people that make one mistake to be eliminated, but no, agreed. I don't know. We're at time, Toonche.
Oh, okay. We could talk about...
You could talk about AI forever. I'm done talking about AI.
Okay.
I don't want to be scared. Effie? Did you call me Effie again?
From the Hunger Games.
Y'all, give us your thoughts. Are you using AI? Are you boycotting AI? What else?
Are you riding in the robot cars? Does your city have the Waymo cars that are automated?
Automated. Yeah, tell us, and we'll talk about it on our live this month.
Yeah.
And do all the things. Hit all the buttons, like, share, everything. Leave a review if you're listening to us. Here we go.
And if anybody else thinks that Marci looks like Effie from the Hunger Games, I want to know. Show them the collar.
Okay, well, the collar's great. It's a cute shirt.
It's cute. That's what it reminds me of.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for joining us on the Rec Yard. Make sure and subscribe to our channel so you'll never miss another rec turnout.